Hello and welcome back to Outward Bound UAE's series of short videos to help keep you entertained while you're stuck indoors. Today we're going to be looking at what an instructor would take out in their packs on an expedition.
We've laid out all of the stuff that an instructor would take in their pack. A lot of it is going to be the same as our last video. If you want to check that out, we show you how to pack a bag, we show you what you would take on an exped for a personal trip. It also goes into weight distribution, how to get the rucksack feeling nice when you're wearing it. So the things that are the same is a sleeping bag, a tent, a roll mat, a stove, a toilet kit, and a first aid kit. First aid kit, we said in the last video, goes at the bottom because you usually have a zip at the bottom of your bag, so that if you need a first aid kit in a hurry, you can open that zip up and you can take it out really quick. It's always on hand. The same goes with an instructor pack. We're always going to have that at the bottom of our pack where the little zip is, so we can get it out as soon as we need it. The rest of these things, they're going to be a little bit different. There's a few little touches that we do. The waterproof is the same. If it rains, you need a waterproof. The extra part we have are these spare layers here. So we have a spare jumper. If you're stuck out and it's starting to get cold, maybe it's getting into night time, maybe it's raining, it's good to have a spare layer that's dry inside a dry bag for anybody that needs it. It might be an injured person or it might just be someone that's getting really cold. The other thing we have in here is a scarf. Keeps the sun off and keeps the dust out. If you've got someone who is maybe having really bad sunburn or they're just having a hard time in the heat, you can give them a scarf. It keeps them a little bit nicer. The next thing we have here, we have a bottle of water. In your normal exped rucksack, you're probably going to take at least 2 litres of water, same as we went through in our last video. As an instructor, we're going to have one extra. So we're going to take this with us, and the aim is not to drink this. We have our 2 litres, we're going to drink that. We're going to refill that. This one stays as it is for just in case situations. If somebody's run out of their water and they're really struggling, we know that we have this to give them. This little thing here is a repair kit. We mentioned it in our last video, but inside here it's going to be a notepad and a pencil. Really important if you've got a first aid situation or an emergency situation and you want to keep notes of the timeline. These sort of things are really good for when somebody actually comes to help you. They really want to know what's happened and when, specifically how long things have taken. In your rucksack, you're always going to have a head torch. If it gets dark, you need that light. As an instructor, we're going to carry a spare head torch. So we'll have our one for ourselves, and we're also going to have a spare. Usually stays off in the bag, and touch wood, never going to use it. However, we know it's there if we need it. Another thing in our repair kit is our shoelaces. If somebody snaps a shoelace, one of the worst things in the world, because you've got to walk with that boot for the rest of the journey. Could be days, could be hours, you never know. Having a spare shoelace can be a lifesaver. Also really useful if your bag starts to break. If you snap one of the straps on your shoulder, you can tie it back on with one of these. And the last little thing is just a multi-tool, really useful in a lot of situations. Communication wise, while we're out, we need to talk to each other, we need to talk to other instructors, sometimes just to let people know where we're going, what we're doing, and other times if there's an emergency. So we have our walkie-talkie, our radio, with spare battery, just in case it runs out. That's our basic go-to communication method. We always talk to each other over the radios, but in a more severe circumstance, we have a sat phone. Phone signal is not always that good in the mountains. Maybe you can't get signal to call in an emergency, which is why we have this. So that if there is something that needs urgent attention, we can use this, give emergency services a ring, and get someone out to us as quick as possible. And that's it. That's everything we take in our instructor pack. If you have any questions or queries about that, leave it in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video. Ma salama.